Can we resume? I can see lesser participants. So, but I hope in another 2 minutes, people will join us. So here, has anyone tested? Did you get time in the break to test it with different inputs, such as wrong inputs, valid inputs, and all that? So that testing part I don't want to, because I've spent like something like 2 hours in getting the things done. So we will do the thorough testing, or you can do the thorough testing in the lab session. And I will just give the ultimate level of simplicity, and then we will start with the today's theory topics, such as I want to cover variable arguments, enums, nested classes, whatever we want to. Okay, so here now focus. I hope more people are joined. Okay, some of them are still not joined. So here, see this. This is open your tester, please, and take a look at this particular line. I'm saying you can simplify it further. So let me ask you as usual. You must have found it little tedious or clumsy here by calling these methods and passing them. So here is the professional way people do it. Instead of calling, let me ask you a simple question. Again, it's a obvious answer. Instead of calling, suppose validate employee ID, validate name, etc. All these from here. Let us let me rephrase my statement. So what is a better idea? What is a simpler idea? Call 10 different validation methods from here, or call simply one validation method from here. Which sounds better? I hope you will agree with me that calling one validation method sounds better. Okay, so again, this is called as code refactoring. Means what? Current code is also working. We want to make it even more simple or simpler and cleaner. Okay, so observe. Again, we are going to do it in a reverse engineering manner. So keep the SOP as it is. And instead of calling 10,000, when I say 10,000, I mean multiple methods, let us only call a single method. Okay, so if you want, you can keep this under comment. And again, we are going to write it as a public static method. Import static will be there. So here, I will say just one line, validate all inputs. See, the method name also looks cool, looks easy to understand. And when I say validate all inputs, what all we have to pass is whatever you are passing here. So do the code refactoring with me properly. So for that validate employee ID, I'll require both of them. So literally Control X. Control X means cut and paste, cut, and here paste it. So here, what is it we are passing is the employee ID, and for the checking, we require that employee array. So this takes care of the first one. Remove the first one. Okay. Now for the first name validation, what is it you are going to require? You are going to require so now let us keep it simple. The name, first name, sc.next. Then you just pass sc.next, the last name. Okay. So first name, last name done. sc.next, email. sc.next, the department ID. And sc.next for the string form, and sc.next double. So of course, you'll get a lot of compilers. Don't feel panicked. We will take care of it. I'm just commenting all of it. So here, see the simplification. See, when you are in the 10th day of Java and all, I need to show you what are the clean programming practices. So here, we will hide calling these validation rules only with one method. So which is the only method I have to call from the tester from that class? One. Validate all inputs. And any cases, who will be calling these individual methods such as validate name, validate email, validate department? Who will be calling these individual validation rules? Validate all inputs method. Absolutely correct. So you yourself see the code looks clearer, simpler. Okay. So tell me, if you have not understood, give me 5 minutes, and within 5 minutes, everyone will be clear. So has everyone reached here? I can give you this line if you want. So that, you know, if you are having some compiler issues, opening, closing and all that, you don't have to worry. I've sent you that line. I've yet to write. We have yet to. This is just a refactoring, rearranging the code. You let me know whenever you finish. I'm trying to give you a simpler coding experience. Of course, it is going to have compiler error because we don't have that method yet. You tell me when to continue. But tell me whenever you are done, otherwise we waste time. Done? Okay. So now, as suggestion, copy this name. Otherwise, again, you sometimes make spelling mistakes and you struggle, you waste a lot of time. And go to the top. Top or bottom doesn't matter really. Generally it is better. So here, add public static method for validating all inputs. Okay, sorry. Okay, so now what should this method do? It should accept all these. You can say Control V. So you will get the method name and all that. And what should this method do? If there is any field which is invalid, throw the exception. But if there are, if all the fields are valid, what should it return? Guess smartly. See, there are different ways of doing it. I'm just asking you to guess. I'll repeat my question. I said, if all the inputs are valid, what should this method itself do? Make that employee class instance, which has all validated fields, and return the instance to the caller. Are you getting it? See guys, nothing fancy, no rocket science. Whatever you are doing here, just hide it in the method for giving the clean UI, clean tester. That is the only point. Okay. So now I'm suggesting you can take this. You can just match the arguments. So just count and do it properly. Or otherwise, see what I do is very simple. I just take this because from that I'll know what has to be this. So what has to be matched? So public static, and as you said correctly, it will return. It should return the validated employee details encapsulated in employee or throw the exception that way. So validate all inputs, and here I'm just pasting it. Of course, everyone knows SC dot next int won't do. So in employee ID, give the variable names properly so you yourself know what is going on. Otherwise, you feel totally lost. Employee array. And you can give any name, including EMPS. So suppose I say this. Next one is, I think, the first name. Next one is the last name. Next one is, I think, the department ID. First name, last name, email. Email it is, and then it is department ID. So here is I'll give you this string email. Then was the department ID. Okay. And then was, I forgot, department ID and the join date and the salary. Yes. So then is your string join date, and then you can add a double salary. Okay. And then write this method body. Declare the method body. So here I'll send you this much. This is going to give you a compiler error, but we are moving in very baby steps, small steps. So this is the method declaration. Finish it, then we'll move on. Tell me whenever you complete. Done, Kritika. Yes, very good. We'll wait, just wait for some more dones, some more of you to complete, so that everyone is comfortable and nobody is lost. Okay. So you have got that method declaration. Now, what is the thing? Nothing, no change. Only thing is you are calling all these methods from the tester. Now we are nicely hiding all of it from the tester. In short, what is the first one we want to call it? Call as is the validate, not validate the name, that validate ID. So see, it becomes so easy. Now we are in the same class. So simply say validate. You will get validate employee ID. And what are the two arguments you are passing is employee ID and employee data. Just call one method at a time because you have to understand and then go ahead, not just blindly. So here we are calling those validation rules in a same manner. You know the whole story. This is, see, now you'll understand further. See that validate employee ID, which we wrote just before the break. So that method was not handling the exception. So who is the caller of that? The caller is validate all inputs. So tell me, do you want to wrap it in a try catch block or further delegate it to the tester? Delegate it to the tester. So how do you continue the delegation? Continue with the throws. Are you getting the feel of it? See that validate employee ID delegated the exception handling to validate all inputs. Validate all inputs is delegating it to the tester because there we have already written one try catch all block. So you can continue the delegation, employee handling exception, and the error will disappear. I mean, the error from here will be gone. Now do systematically and fast. So now you have to say validate first name. So where is my, okay, that validate name. And here first you give the first name and give the message as first. You should be, because the same thing we did some time ago in the tester. So I think you will manage it. If not, look up. If you can manage, don't refer to my code at all. So we are simply doing the same job, but in such a clear-cut, neat and nice manner. So names are done. So here I'll just keep everything in front of you. Then I want to validate the email ID. So currently, actually, if you ask me, I'm not using the return value. So I can get rid of that return value also. But I don't want to make too many changes and lose you. Then is your validate department ID and this. Then after department ID, we have the join date. So here you need to access it. You have to, because it is returning you the past and validated date. So you can say validated date or pass date is equal to that method, parse and validate date, and give that. Now you have another problem. You had delegated, just take the cursor there and you will know. So you have got unhandled, check, parse exception, add it. Guys, this was mainly, this whole exercise I thought of to give you a lot of confidence in writing bigger code and putting things together. Integration is very important. So I've got this. Then what else is remaining? Department ID. Yes, I'm salary, I'm not having. So, okay, I'll wait here till you finish. All you call is the validation rules. You let me know whenever you reach this much. Yeah, some of you are saying, I'll just wait a bit longer so that somebody asked a question, looks like. Why return type employee? So yes, you will understand that in next 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. Done? Okay. So guys, I'm still waiting. I'm not writing anything. I'm just talking to you. So first we are calling the validate employee method, employee ID. So there are two possibilities. Duplicate employee ID was passed or a distinct. Distinct means non-duplicate was passed. So tell me, if the duplicate employee ID was passed, what is this method going to throw? Custom exception. And in case of that exception, is it really going to go through the rest? Answer is no. Method will be aborted. See the flow. So, and with the exception raised high, it reaches here. It reaches inside your try block. Okay. So this try block, which try block? That inner try block is aborted. You know, when the exception, it reaches the catch-all. If there are any pending inputs, we are reading it off. And here, again, the next iteration of while will continue. So that is what was our attempt. So see the cleanliness, see the, what do you say, clean coding practices. I don't have to use any if else. I'm using exception handling technique to what? To control the flow. Same story repeats. If the first name is valid, fine, the control will continue. But otherwise, anytime any of these inputs are, anytime in case of any invalid inputs, automatically, without you doing if else checking, without you testing anything, JVM itself will abort the code. Abort the code in the sense, sorry, abort the code is wrong, abort the method. The control goes to the mains inner try catch block. That inner switch case based try catch block aborts, and again user gets a chance to continue. So guys, tell me, simple question, simple answer. If the control reaches here, what does it imply? All inputs are valid or some of them valid, some of them invalid? All inputs are valid. Okay. So here, all inputs are valid. So, Suyash, I was telling you that I'll give you in the answer in a minute. So instead of just doing that, why don't we do this also? So instead of creating that employee instance in the tester, isn't it cool? Isn't it nicer? Isn't it simpler? You have already got all the validated inputs. Can you write a method which returns the object reference? We have already done that. So here, in case all valid inputs are valid, encapsulate, write the comment. So you'll know why we are doing it. Encapsulate all these details in what? In employee class instance and return its reference to the caller. You understood, Suyash, now? So we are not doing anything really in the tester. Tester is simply going to call one method and it will get the job done. Everything hidden inside. That's the way to code. That's the, I see, I'm not saying the other options will not work, but I'm trying to suggest you a clean and good option. So you can do it in 2 lines, such as employee equal to new, or you can do it in 1 line. So let us do it in 1 line. So what is it I want to return? Employee class employee object reference. New returns that. So here you can say, sorry, return new employee. Now guys, tell me, should I use the ID based constructor or all args constructor here? Everything has to be done, decided by you. Should I use, of course, all args, because all the inputs are validated. So you are absolutely right. And now you have got validated employee ID, validated first name, validated last name, email, department ID, date, and the salary. And this completes your validate all inputs method. So I'll share it with you. See if it makes sense. See if you like it. See if you understand it. I'll wait till you tell me to go ahead. Tell me whenever you complete it. But please don't do it blindly. Just because I'm typing, you also type. Don't do that. That never works. Ask me questions if you are confused that why she did that or why I did that. Line 36, date should be joined it. Let us this up. No, this one. Here, somebody asked me, this should be joined at no. Open your employee class. Mute yourself, guys. Okay, see the open the employee class, and in the employee class ka constructor, we are taking the type of date. So whoever was asking me question, what is the data type of join date here? Where is that? String. So I can't pass a string. That is where we have got a passed and validated date. The variable name here I've used as date. So that is why I have passed it. Are you clear? This one, Ragini. You understood, right? My explanation. Try putting join date. You will get a compiler error because you don't want to pass to the constructor string. You want to pass a passed and validated date. So this. Guys, tell me whenever you finish. Okay. So that I can continue. I can wrap up. Okay, Swapnil is saying done. Yeah, some of you are saying. I hope those who are saying done have understood and done it. As much as possible, don't take help of my code. Try to write it on your own. That will build the confidence. Okay. So now, this method is, okay, what is the advantage of this coding practice? Tomorrow, your business manager comes to you and says that, okay, I'm now opening another department such as BP or whatever. So in that case, do you really have to touch anything from the tester? No. If I want to add one more department, no. Do I have to touch this major method? No. You just go to this particular tiny method, actual method, and here you just add a case BP or case whatever consulting department we are opening or whatever department, and the code will be done in a minimal manner. So the greatest highlight of object-oriented programming practices is, yes, modular code, and the extension becomes so easy. You don't have to touch each and every code and each and every class and feel lost about it in the compilation and running. The changes are kept minimal. Okay, so adopt means learn these programming techniques. So I hope by now people have refactored this. It is just a matter of this now. So here, remove all this. Now I can directly do this. So here, assign it. Okay, another shortcut. So you want to tell me what is this validate all inputs method is going to return me? Either it will throw the exception, then the code will get, try block will get aborted. Otherwise, what it will return? Validated employee reference or employee reference containing all validated object. So I'll show you the shortcut. What is the shortcut? Here, simply say control-1. I'm giving you shortcuts, guys, so that your typing reduces. I'm not asking you to compromise on your concept. Just click on this and click control-1. It will give you the suggestions. So pick up the third suggestion, assign statement to a new local variable. And you can use the variable name as E. You understood my suggestion? I'm not saying that you have to use the shortcuts, but if you use these IDE shortcuts, lesser code for you to type. And then this part remains exactly the same. So you only tell and you only compare and tell me. The code which we wrote earlier before the break looks clean and simpler to understand, or this particular code looks better, clearer to understand. I hope this looks cleaner. And then testing, managing, debugging, I'm telling you, becomes so easy. There's only one disadvantage of this coding style. Okay, first of all, have you got rid of all these compiler errors? Is it zero compiler errors and all? Testing part we will delay it to the lab because otherwise, we'll not achieve any new topics today, and I've planned so many. So now we are going to switch back to theory session. But before that, I just want to make a comment. Anyone realizes any disadvantage of currently written code, of the current code? I'll give you a clue. Okay. So here you are asking user about all these employee details, and suppose only first name is invalid. So in that case, with the next retry, will user need to type only first name, or will he have to enter the complete details again? Answer is everything again. Okay. So this is the disadvantage of centralized exception handling. We have done only one catch block and have had this. Currently, I'm asking you to continue with that. But if anyone is more ambitious, everyone should be ambitious. So in that case, what you can do is you have to do method level handling. So for example, you are passing a string email. Okay. So here, suppose it fails, you can decide that maximum retry counts are, let's say 3. So you set the retry counter to 0. And here you loop till the maximum retries are over. And after the maximum retries are over, then only throw and say give up that invalid email. Now I can't help you. So I'm not asking you to do it right away or right now. That code doesn't abort this one, Yash. Code continues to the next iteration. That is what you can say. So the point is, but that is a little more complex concept, adding method level handling. So currently, continue with this type of handling and give the rest of the inputs. If we get time somewhere, I will show you method level handling also in one example. So this is your full and final code as far as centralized error handling is concerned. And we will do the detailed testing of it, but you do the detailed testing of it in the lab session. And if there are any errors, if we have some loopholes, loose ends, some mistakes done, we can discuss it in the lab. So what I'll do is, before I start our first theory topic today, let me make a zip in case somebody had not completed a part, and I'm sending you this. Okay, so this contains all the latest code. So now here we are stopping your I'm not at all saying that you stop doing it interactively, but I'm going to now introduce the new concepts of today. So, sometimes it becomes hard to learn a new concept and then code also. This I've high insisted because you already knew exception handling, try, catch, and everything. So I think you could manage. So now it is up to you. You can just sit back and you can understand the new concepts. And then in the lab session, as usual, you do the revision. And then, of course, I'll give you the assignment. Fresh means continuation of this assignment where you learn all the new concepts. So tell me openly, honestly, did this session help you? It's not for making me happy. Of course, I feel happier if it has helped you, but tell me the genuine feedback. Give me the genuine feedback. Majority. Is there anyone who says that this is not helping us and this is confusing us more? I'll think of something else. I can, it is just this thing, helpful for writing clean code. Very good. Shortcuts are confusing. Abhinav, shortcuts are not the deal. Nobody is forcing you to give the shortcuts. Type out that much extra and do that. Okay. So of course, as a common this, I always revise. I would revise. But you know what I'm planning to do in the today's lab? I'm going to, yes, that is the whole idea, clearing the concepts. So in the lab session, I'm going to show you today, finally, how to attach a debugger. And you can do, there's a keystroke, the function key F6. We can press the code line by line. And if some of you are still not clear with the flow, everyone will be clear totally. But that is a lab exercise, which we will do in the lab. So now you can, if you want, you can stop your ID and all that. So now let us start with today's contents. Now I'm switching back to theory mode, session mode. Again, I'm saying you can do it with me anytime. So what is it? I don't know whether I'll cover all of this, but I'll take initially a very easy topic, variable arguments. It's a very interesting one and you will see used everywhere. Then I want to start with enum. Somebody was telling me enum, but I have not discussed that enum. So here I had written some other objective, but we can add it in our code also. And then I want to start you on another easy topic, wrapper classes in Java. And only relationship so far I have shown you is a relationship inheritance. So today we'll start with association, which is nothing but a containment or a has-a relationship. Okay, so that is the plan. So let's get started with varaks, variable arguments. So if you are anyway now you are logged in and all, so you can always look at my readmes and everything. So open yesterday's data, that was day 9 data. You will find day 9 help. I'll repeat the path. Day 9 data, day 9 help, and you will find a readme. Readme strings, date, and varaks. Found that readme? The name of the readme is readme strings, date, and varaks. It is there in day 9 data. Got it? Okay. So here, go to the end. And here towards the end, I have talked about varaks syntax. So what is a varaks? Variable argument syntax. How do you denote it in Java? Triple dots, 3 dots, which is called as ellipsis. So the only rule in the varaks syntax in Java is the variable number of arguments should be the last argument in the method signature. So here, what does it mean? What does variable arguments mean? Anytime you see such a syntax, you would be able to pass either 0 arguments, no arguments at all, or array of argument type, or the comma separated list of arguments. Sounds complex, but it is not. So read it line by line. I have written already lot of examples. So here, first question. Can you apply this varaks syntax, variable argument syntax, to primitive data types? Answer is yes. Can you apply it to reference types also? Answer is yes. So it is applicable. It is not applicable, of course, to methods. It is only the method argument type. It can be primitive type. It can be reference type. So, solve the example and it will be clear. So I have already given you the answer. So here, look at this. So here, don't get confused. This is some business logic. BL is business logic. So now tell me, what are we looking at? Int followed by 3 dots. Variable argument syntax, varaks. But what is the meaning? The meaning is whenever you are calling the method, how many integers can you pass? You can pass 0 to multiple integers. So now see the usage and check which one works, which are legal ones. So tell me, the first one, if I call ref means some object reference of this method, and if I say ref.doStuff, so I'm not passing any arguments. Tell me, compiler error or no error? I want lot of answers, guys, because that is an interactive way. That is how I enjoy things. Of course, no error, because the moment you say varaks, you can drop the argument. Now take a look at the next one. What is it I'm creating? An integer array. And if I pass this integer array, compile, and where it is expecting the varaks, legal or illegal, means compiler error or no compiler error. Answer is no error. No error. Wherever there is an array, you can replace it by varaks. And vice versa, wherever there is a varaks, you can replace it by array. In short, will this compile? Yes, of course. But I'm saying, guys, varaks is such a powerful syntax, meaning you don't even have to put it in an array. So what is the third usage of it? Can I pass the variable number of integers just in a comma separated manner? In short, if I call this, will it work or will it not? Answer is 100% it will work. You got it? So a minute recap. What is that varaks? Varaks stands for variable argument syntax. Tell me, can you apply it to primitive types only or reference types or both or neither? Answer is of course both. Got it? Next one. Wherever you see the varaks, Which of the following you will be able to pass? No arguments, array of arguments, comma separated list of arguments, all of above, none of above, either of above. Answer is all of above. You got it? So that's a convenience. Now, so this we'll skip currently. We'll come back to it little later. Printf has that variable argument syntax. We'll talk about it later. So here, now just read this carefully. I've written all the meaning. Just read that. So what is that? What is the method name? Can you tell me in that highlighted code, what is the name of the method? Simple question, simple answer. Do stuff to is the method. Absolutely correct. Now you focus on the signature. So tell me, can you apply variable argument syntax to the first argument or the last argument or any of it? Answer is, it is applicable only to last argument. Means what? Whenever you call this method, can I drop the character or do I have to pass a single character for this method? You have to pass a single character, but can I drop these? Can I pass 0 arguments? Yes. 0 integers, I mean. Yes. Comma separated list of integers? Yes, again. And the array of arguments? Yes, again. So, example. Example always makes it easier. So here, by the way, these methods can be static also. So suppose I don't make it static. I created some reference dot do stuff to. And suppose I write here, you tell me, will compilation error or no error? You just have to tell me. Answer is 0 error. How about this? Okay, you are right. No, we are talking about Java compiler. No Java compiler error. Okay, so let me do the next one and you tell me. Okay, so here let's do the easiest one. Tell me please, compile time error or no error? Answer is error. So which part is going wrong? Is it the first argument which is wrong or is it the second argument? Answer is first argument is missing. So here, of course, there will be Java C error. And why? Not Java error, Java C error I meant. Because first argument missing. Are you getting that fact? So these were simple examples of working with primitives. What is always interesting is working with references. So now focus attention. We'll write this code in a minute. I mean, I will write it. If you want to join it, of course, you're more than welcome. So here, read only this much. So what we have got? You got a class test. And here you have a method, do stuff 3. And tell me, when you see these variable arguments, first tell me, what is the type of animal? Is it a primitive type or is it a reference type? P or R? Why you are this? Of course, reference type. Soon we are going to create a class as an animal. So it is nothing but an animal type of a reference, class type of reference. And when you see these triple dots, ellipses, what it means is I can drop this thing, argument, zero arguments, or I can pass an animal array, or I'll be able to pass, what is it called? Comma separated list of animals. You understood that? And then I can just see, this is nothing but variable arguments type. So you can write your simple for each loop. And if you have got a method in the animal class, such as getName, you can definitely, what is it called? You can find the names of the animals which you have got in a zoo or in a jungle or in a safari or whatever you're talking about. So let us, I have written all of this here. We'll just create it in a simple manner and confirm the concept. So if you want to code along, like I said, you are more than welcome. But since it is a new concept, I will not push you. So you can take that decision. So here, now we are starting with the first thing of today. E10.1. And first package I'm creating, a class I'm creating here is the package, let's say Varax. And here, let me start with the super class animal. It's a simple inheritance hierarchy I'm creating. And all I'm giving is the name. This is just a brush up of your inheritance. Very simple, nothing complex. So private string name. I hope by now you are all clear with this. I'm just generating the constructor. You can make it as an abstract class also, because this animal, I don't know which animal it is unless until I really create this. So why don't you add the abstraction also? Because you can revisit that part as well. Animal is any animal. I don't know. So here, if you remember, long back we said, can you write a abstract class in Java which has 100% concrete functionality? What is the answer? Yes. So I'm not showing you the exact purpose, but I just gave you the proof of concept. It is possible. It is fine. Now let us create a couple of animals. So here, suppose I say dog. What is it going to extend from? Dog is an animal, right? And here, so you can see that why there is a compiler error, because of that constructor. So here I'll just add a constructor, and here what we are going to pass is the name of the animal. So here, since it is dog, you can give the name such as suppose Pluto, Casper, whatever dog names you want to keep. But like currently just I'm saying it's a dog. Like whatever favorite names, Bruno, whatever you have, you can always keep. So this is that. Now I'm not making it complex at all, because the point is Varags, not this. So now let me create a couple of copies. Let's say horse. You can see that. Okay, sorry. Of course, how can a horse be named as a dog? And then you have got something like just some pets. So for the shortcuts, somebody was saying that I'm getting confused in the shortcuts. So I'm saying don't use the shortcuts. Shortcuts are for your speedier development. So sooner or later you're going to know that. Just search for Eclipse cheat sheet. Google it, and you will get all these keystrokes to generate all these, for this code generation and all. So that is not a priority. Priority is a concept and writing the implementation. So coming back here, I change it. Are we all clear? Is everyone 100% clear so far? Animal as the superclass, and dog, horse, and cat is an animal. No issues? Clear completely? Okay. So like I said, here I'm not going to wait for individual this, because otherwise it takes too much time. Now the main thing is writing the tester. So here, let me create a test. I'm just thinking, okay, let me add the method also there. So this is your main. Now tell me, what has been the argument of main always? String array args. But just now I made a statement. You remember what I said? Can I replace it by a var syntax wherever there is an array? Of course, yes. So guys, whenever somebody gives you some ready-made code like this, don't reject it saying it is a compiler error. I'm just trying to help you with exam questions, interview questions and all. This also works. So right now, leave it aside. Let us add a static method. Why I'm writing it as a static method? When main is a static method, can it call other static method directly? Can one static method call other static method directly? Yes. Otherwise, you don't want to write it as a static method, create the instance of the test class and call it. That I have already written in that readme. So here I'm making it even easier. No instantiation will be required. Add a static method which accepts variable number of arguments and displays the name. I've written something similar in that do stuff 3 method. Here I'm just writing it for you. So since it is in the same class, I don't have to make it public. I can hide it by just making private. Static because main should call it. And since I'm going to print the name from here itself, I can keep it simple void. And I can give the name as display names. I just want to know what should be the method argument here. Tell me, I'm writing, looking at your answer. What should be the argument here, method argument? Type it out and I'll check. Absolutely correct. So here, variable number of arguments. But guys, the triple dots cannot come after the variable name. It has to come after the type. So here I'm saying animal, ellipsis. And guys, my suggestion, the moment you have a varchar syntax, typically you use it for multiple. So give the variable name also as animals, as in plural. Don't use it as a singular. And everyone knows the for each. So for each animal A in your animals, you got that. All I'm going to do is A dot get name. I'm not getting it. Oh, look at me. I mean, I wanted to say the get name and I forgot to add. I was thinking why I'm not getting it. So guys who are not clear with the shortcuts, simple one, source. Here there's an option generate getters and setters. I don't want to set the name, so choose the get name. If you don't want to generate the code, you want to write it yourself, of course feel free, of course do it. So but it is simple code, so I generally generate. So coming back to the point, get name, that's it. So this is the method definition part. I have to yet call it. That is where it will get interesting. So tell me openly, honestly, is everyone clear so far? No ambiguity, no question, I mean, nothing, no confusion. Everyone, what about others? Okay, so now I'm going to call this method. So here, when I want to call this method, do I have to make an object as an instance of this test class? It's a yes, no question. No. Can I call this directly? Of course, yes. So tell me, is there any compiler error even when I don't supply any arguments? Answer is no. Variable arguments means what? No arguments are is also fine. Because you're sitting in IDE. So like there's nothing. So here I'll add a SOP. So testing, no args. Okay. So you'll know what is happening and just run the code. And I hope everyone is clear. Why nothing got printed here? Because I did not pass any arguments. So this for each loop cannot iterate even once because there is no data, there is no array, there is no variable arguments. So is the output and the code clear so far? Are we clear totally? Okay. So now let us do it in an array based manner. So here I'm saying SOP. So testing with animal ka array. Okay. So this is what we are passing. Guys, every time I try to, show you different syntaxes so that whenever you are given any code, you should not reject it and all that. So see what I'm doing. Display names. See, I can do it in 2 lines. How will I do it in 2 lines? I can say animal. You remember dynamic initialization of array? Suppose I call it that animal array is pets, horse, dog, cat can be pets. And here you remember these curly braces. And here I can say, suppose I have a cat here with the name of a cat. And here, suppose dog. If I want, I can say my Persian cat. I mean, whatever name you want to have for the cat. So here I can say some name. And suppose I say new horse SPD or something. I'm just talking about some names. So tell me guys, when this is nothing but your dynamic initialization of array, revisiting that, how many objects would be created in the heap? Count again, Rohan. How many objects? Answer is 4. Cat, dog, and horse plus the holder array object which holds its references. And what will happen if I pass it here? Anyone wants to tell me what will be the output? Testing with animal array. What will be the names which will be passed, which will be printed is Mojo, Casper, and Speedy. Are you understanding? The idea is not the dynamic initialization array or this. Idea is varchar. So here, confirm. So as you can see, currently I'm not passed. Okay, why don't I do it in a better? Anyway, I made a mistake. I've written it. Why not? Let's let's not hard code. Otherwise, I'm not seeing the names at all. So what is the point then? I just corrected myself, the code, so that you'll get to see the actual names. So are we seeing the cat's name, assigned name, given name, and the dogs and the whatever horse's name? Again, the point, don't miss the main point. Don't get confused in the constructors and the parameterized constructor. Focus on varchars. So tell me, wherever there is a variable argument syntax, varchar syntax, will I be able to pass an array? That's the main question. Yes or no? Answer is very much yes. Okay, the last one. So now let's do this. So here, testing with comma separated names. Comma separated animals. Anyone wants to use it? So give me. You can use my distinct names, cat, dog names. So you can invent your own. So major thing is I want to see whether you are understanding. Anyone wants to tell me what I can pass here? I want it as a comma separated list. So give me some code, guys. Are you understanding what I'm asking you? Just one or two will be sufficient. Give me the comma separated list. The third usage of it. Exactly. Very right. So here, suppose I want to add a dog and a horse just. Okay. So new dog. Okay. And new horse. I don't know whether you know the movie. There's a very excellent movie called A Sea Biscuit. So here. So this is the idea is varchars, not the movies. So the point is, can I pass, wherever there is a varchars, can I simply pass the comma separated list of arguments? Answer is yes, very much yes. So here, see the last output and we can go ahead with the new one. So when you supply no arguments, still it works. Doesn't print anything because there's nothing to iterate over. Could I pass the array of animals and get their names? Of course, yes. And instead of creating a comma, array of animal type of references, all I could supply was comma separated references of animals type, and the no variable argument method works. So tell me, all the usages of variable arguments, varchars, clear to everyone? Got it? So this is your varchars, but just be careful. When I say careful, what is an illegal syntax? You should also know that, because people give you mixed up code and ask you what will happen: compile time error, runtime error, or the output types. So here, suppose you write this method, do stuff 4, and here if you write this, 100% it will fail, because this ellipsis cannot be after the variable name. It has to be after the data type. So it is considered as a wrong syntax, illegal syntax. You will definitely get a compiler error. With arrays, you can put it anywhere. Are you understanding me? So here I'm saying if it was an array, string array, I can put an array symbol here or I can place it here. Both are alike, both are equivalent. But that is not the story with your varchars. Means what? If you make a mistake and you write it here, immediately compiler shouts. Everyone clear? What is a bad syntax? No, not that, Rohit. Not that. You're not okay. Here I'm not talking about that last argument. I'm talking about here. So you cannot place it here. It has to be immediately after the data type. Are we clear, guys? Is the statement clear? Mixed data type, you'll have to go to the common super type. When I say I've already given you the example of a mixed data type. I've already mixed cat, dog, and horse by going to the super type. So this itself is an example of a mixed data type. You cannot have here. How can you add animal and employee together? So for that, you declare it as a new argument. But varchars will not be allowed. Varchars is allowed only for the last argument. So just try it out, whatever you have the doubts. And then I can clearly understand you. If you write this compiler error, why? I've given you the comment already. You cannot have the varchars multiple times. Where should this variable argument syntax can come? For the first one or for the last one? Of course, the last one. Are you getting it? So this has to be applicable to the last one. And the next one is here. What is wrong about it? Already said the rule. Only place the variable argument is allowed for the last argument. So all these are the examples of illegal syntax. So this is the only, focus of variable argument. Is everyone clear? It's a small topic. So, but it is, you will see that varchar syntax so many times. So wanted to explain. Clear or not clear, guys? Tell me. Everyone is clear? And like I said, I've written this code sample. You can add your own questions. That is how you should do. And whatever further queries, doubts are here, add it in the code and ask me in the lab. That way. So this is all about varchars. Now the next one is going to be little longer one. So enum, what I'll do is I'll share that help. So you can also open it and start reading. I'm just thinking. Okay, first I'll give you just a readme. Wait a second. I'll share it. I'll be sharing it on the today's help, day 10 help. But just to, keep you in the loop, I'm sending you the readme called as regarding enums. So you can just download it and open it. You're going to get it properly by the end of the day. Okay, so has everyone downloaded it? Then you can open it on your computer if you're still logged in and you have a better idea then. So here I've highlighted some things, few lines. Read that. And then I'll start explaining word by word as always. Okay, has everyone got it and has everyone read this highlighted code? Answer yes, no, maybe. Okay, so you are looking at it. So now start reading it along with me. Enumeration, anytime, whether you have C, C++, in .NET you are going to learn C#. Java and C# are so similar, only syntax is different. C++, Java and C#, all object oriented. Python also, but Python is lot of shortcuts. C# and Java you can compare. C++ and Java are comparable. Anyway, so enum in any language, what it means is set of associated related constants. What is the meaning? Everything will be clear soon. So here, is it a Java's finding or has it been there always? So answer is it has been there in languages like C Sharp, C, C++ from the beginning. But here you will see, not today, because today I'll just start you on enums. Over time, you will see they are much more powerful than in C++. So when were enums added in the language? In the JDK 1.5 release. Now, this was just a background. Now, what I'm saying now is very important. So, you tell me, what are the two types, encapsulation types, you know so far? You know exactly two types where we encapsulate everything. Tell me which two types you know. Did not understand me? Okay, class. Don't say class package. Class. No. Class. That is the unit of encapsulation. And you have seen something more. Class and what? Interface. No. Abstraction is a part of the class. Class and interface are the two types you have seen so far. So here, I want to always show with this example. So can you see here? This is a shortcut for class. You just open the drop down list. So you have learned class, you have learned interface. Today we are going to create an enum. Okay. So enum is another type in Java. Okay. That was my point. So now read this. Like how we have classes, class keyword. For interfaces, interface keyword. So for enumeration, we have the keyword as an enum. So which is the keyword we are going to use in a short while is enum. Okay, next one. But if you say enum, enum is nothing like a new type or anything. Internally, I'm going to show you the internally compiled code and all that. Generated code and all that, and not compiled. I wanted to say the generated code. The compiler does so many things automatically. So enums will be compiled into classes. You'll see it in a couple of minutes. And those classes, what will be the default? It's a popular question. People ask you, which is the common superclass of all Java enums? Answer is java.lang.enum. So pause here and immediately open the Java docs. Open docs. That's why I said, even if you don't want to continue coding with me, at least you should be in a position to open Java docs when I say so. So open the Java docs. And what is it you are going to search for? Search for enum. The first hit itself will be java.lang.enum. Click on that. Found it? I hope more and more people are getting used to Java docs on a daily basis. Those who are not, stop your fear, stop your hesitation, stop your laziness, and immediately get into Java docs. Okay, so here, this is, as you can see, it's a class. Today you won't understand. Tomorrow you will understand this. Tomorrow we are talking in generics. So right now just ignore. So here, now read some important things. So is this superclass abstract or concrete? It's an abstract class. What is the name of the class? Enum. And of course it is coming. You see, universal superclass is object. So object will be extended by your enum. I mean this java.lang.enum, which will be further extended by our own custom enum. We're going to write a enum soon. And here, do you remember seeing this comparable interface anytime? Where have you seen it? Answer is yes. Where have you seen it, guys? There are two occasions you have seen it. One is string and date. Absolutely. So you remember, comparable interface has compare to method. So we could compare two strings. We could compare two dates, returning negative number, 0 or positive number. Likewise, will you be able to compare two enums? It's a yes or no question. The moment in the middle of night. In middle of night means, when I say middle of night, I mean anytime, whenever you are not aware. So anytime you see any class implementing comparable. Of course, it can be compared. Okay, so more on this later. So before I go to the next point, what is the point I wanted to make is you will definitely see compare to method here over time. Now they have given you this means that enum class is the common base class for all java.lang enums. And this is little hard English, but I'll try to explain. Here, more information about enums, including whatever. It says implicitly declared methods synthesized by compiler. So as a beginner, you don't understand a word. So I'll try to tell you in a simpler English. So let me ask you a question. When you write an interface and declare any data member, which are the implicit keywords your compiler adds? I always want to talk in analogy. Everyone knows it. PSF, public static final. Which are the two keywords which are added implicitly for a method declaration? Public and abstract. Okay, but that was the small thing. You are going to see in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whenever we will write a simple enum, and you will see compiler will generate lot of code. So that is what they mean. So there will be so much of a code. Synthesized means generated by compiler. Okay, so just remember this as a information. And now come back to my readme, and you will soon see it is a combo of enum can be considered as combination of class features. Which class features, it extends from enum class. You can add the data members, you can add the constructor. So that is all class type. And it also has interface features such as all the data members, whatever enum members, those are going to be implicitly public, static, and final. So this sounds heavy, but unless until you see the generated code, I'm telling you guys, you don't understand a word. So give me that time. So here, why any new topic we start with why. So all the answers, you won't get the whole field. So I'll just tell you, this is the easiest way, simplest way to define related constants. This will not be clear unless until we write the example. I've written in detail. In interface, if you write, you can have multiple constants in the interface. But can you iterate over interface constants? Answer is no. Wait for a while. You will be able to iterate over all enum constants. So again, I've given a lot of examples. Now take a look at the example I'm saying. These are all the standard popular questions. Why? What is the advantage of enum in Java? So look at my question. Suppose you have declared a menu interface, for your restaurant. So suppose you have got a menu interface, and here you have declared menu items as soup, dosa, rice, and you have attached which soup. So let's say tomato soup or Mysore dosa or fried rice, anything. So now if I say along with the soup name, assign the price. So you will say, okay, I will say colon and price, but then it involves processing. So it is not easy to add multiple attributes in the interface. Wait for tomorrow, because today is going to be the easy half, first half of enum. Tomorrow the second half. You will see with enum it becomes so easy to add the multiple attributes. Okay, but if I say this, you won't understand too many things. So we are going to do, I'm going to show you a simple exercise. And after that, you will start getting little bit feel of enum. Okay, so here, if you are doing with me, you can do that. But that decompiler, anyway, just do it with me. And if you don't want it, you can just sit back and understand. So see, I'm in day 10.1. I'm clicking on SRC. And what is it we want to do is, before I write something, of course, I want to create an enum. But guys, just go to the long code which we wrote in yesterday and today's time. And here, Open the employee because I want to relate it to it. Then only it will start making sense. So answer a simple question. What is the data type of department ID currently? Nothing simpler than that. Easy question. I just want to keep you awake. String. But guys, you and me know that the department ID cannot be any arbitrary string. So I can, in my organization, I can say, open the validation rule, please. See, now once we have written it together, you understand. I hope you have already understood more than 50% of the code. So open that. And then here, you remember, we wrote some cases and then switch casing. And I said, okay, only these 4 departments. Otherwise, I'm throwing the exception. Understood what I said so far? Understood the part of the code which I discussed? Now I'm saying, if I can only support fixed set of departments, which sounds a better suggestion? Still keep the data type as string or change it to enum, which can represent set of constants. String sounds better or enum sounds better? Of course, we are going to change it to enum. But guys, if I make a change in such a big code, you will feel lost. So close all. Control Shift W. Control Shift W is a shortcut for closing all. And first I'll show you in a sample. Sample means simple example. And then we are going to add it in our longer assignment, so that you will do it in the lab and all. Okay. So now see, observe. I'm in day 10.1. SRC, and here are you observing? You can do this much with me also. Click on the drop down list and here choose the enum. Those who are trying along, have you reached here? Instead of choosing a class, instead of choosing an interface, just choose enum and let's have an enum name as department. Okay, so nothing fancy, nothing difficult, I mean. So tell me, which is the keyword for encapsulating, for declaring the enumeration? The keyword itself is enum. Okay, simple, straightforward. I'm not even going to go for complications today. Tomorrow I can show you more interesting things, more powerful features. And here you will see shortly what you define typically. I'll say typically because later I will add so much more. Typically, what is it you add in the enum? Enums have, what is it? Set of constants. Set of, I'll say use the important one, related constants. And you are going to see, you are going to get amazed by so much of code generation from the compiler. So here, when I say constant you want to declare, what is it we use? All uppercase or camel casing, lowercase, what is it? Whenever you are declaring a constant, how do you declare a constant? All uppercase. You got me? So now, earlier somebody was asking me whether I should give that, whether that switch casing will check a lowercase, uppercase. I told him to wait for a while. So let's say R&D, define all uppercase. Let's say finance, some arguments. Let's say marketing. You can have a long list of it. HR and whatever. Billing or this is fine. I mean, or you can say a production as. Okay, so this is where we are declaring an enum. So if you are not going to write any code, the additional code will write tomorrow. So here, this semicolon is optional. Everyone understands optional. So whether you write it or whether you don't write it, the code will simply compile. So this is a one-liner. Are you getting this? This is simply a one-liner. And now I'm going to show you that when you compile this, what is the additional code generated by the compiler? But unfortunately, you don't have that decompiler. So I will give you the decompile code directly, but I'm doing it for you. So there is a Java application decompiler, which I have downloaded as a third-party tool. You don't waste your time. I'll directly show you the usage. Have you written this much? Everyone agrees it is so easy to declare an enum. Everyone gets it? So now see what I'm doing. I'm going to my whatever workspace. So this is our workspace, and which is the project I'm created recently is day 10.1. Where would be all the dot class files? Under SRC or under bin? Under bin. And here, so here, oh, I have not saved it. I have saved it. Where is it? Oh, I did it in the Bharas. Oh, sorry. I said my mistake. See, what I did is, I said I will save it in the enums package, and while talking to you, I just saved it in department. Give me a minute. Let's refactor it. I'll create a package here called as enums. Don't create the package name with the same keyword names. So I call it as enums, or you can have it as test enum, anything. Don't use the keyword generally for package names. And here I'm shifting, I'm moving this into here. Nothing complex I did because of my mistake. By mistake I did it in Varas. So I've created test enum and an enum there. Okay, so now I'm back here. In the bin, can you see ID automatically compiles your code? So now, which is the folder in which our enum class is compiled? It is in test enum. So here I'm opening a command prompt. So here on Windows, you won't be able to run this. So don't try it, because what I'm showing you is a tool called as Java Application Decompiler. It is not given by Sun, Oracle Sun. It is a third-party tool which I have downloaded. You can look for JAD, but I don't know whether it exists for Mac and this. Anyway, you won't need it. What you need to understand is the decompiled output. So give me a minute. Syntax is easy. You cannot run it because you have not downloaded it. So JAD followed by the name of the class. So see this. Any Java code, any Java classes, interfaces, as well as enum, the output of a compiler is a .class file. So I have done this. And the tool name is Java Application Disassembler or Decompiler, whatever you call it. And this JAD file I'm going to share with you. So you can't run this. You will say you'll get file not found. So wait a second. Let me download this, and that you open. It's a text file. Just a second. So I'll share that JAD file with you. Decompiled output. So 10.1 bin test enum and department.jad. I'll wait till you say you download it. Just download department.jad file. Done? JAD stands for Java Application Decompiler. Only one yes I got. What about others? This everyone has to do. I'm not saying you code along, but at least get this file, because that is how I'm going to explain the internal working of an enum. Okay, so now open that text file, please. You can open it with your ordinary notepad, notepad++, anything. So this is all comment, because who has written this tool? So there is I think a Russian guy, I don't know. So Pavel this, whatever, I can't even pronounce this. So anyway, so this is your Java decompiler. And now, so forget all those things like who is the writer of this tool and all. Here, so now focus attention. Here, tell me, what is it we had written was a one-liner. Guys, keep the source in front of you. Here, we had written a one-liner enum, public enum department. And anyone wants to tell me who has generated so much of a code? Don't say JAD tool. It is the compiler who has added the tool. I have just used that decompiler option. And I'm showing you what is the extra code. What is that synthesized code, they call it, generated by compiler. So now start answering my questions. When you write an enum, ultimately, what is the type of it? Is it internally a class or is it an interface? Quick answers are expected. When I say enum, it is compiled. What is it compiled into? Class or an interface? You're not able to give me that answer? Answer is here, right here. It is compiled into a class and it is a final class. Guys, start observing important things because all of these are extremely popular questions. So tell me, will you be able to extend from your enum? Will you be able to subclass it? Will you be able to extend from your enum? It's a yes or no. Of course not. Final means stopping the inheritance. Point number 1. Next point. Tell me. Can you tell me? It's all answers are here. Answers are all here. So tell me. What is it? What is the super class of all Java enums? The name is, can you don't say lowercase. Lowercase enum is the keyword. Yeah, I really appreciate those who have written java.lang.enum. Guys, get used to fully qualified class name. I'm telling you with confidence and with experience, people appreciate it in interviews and all. So what is the super class? Enum. And that is what I showed you a minute ago in the from the whatever Java docs. It is the common base class, common super class. Okay, one line at a time. Am I promising that you will understand everything? Unfortunately not, because we have not yet done something like nested classes and all. But over time you'll understand. Now take a look at it at highlighted code and tell me, what are we looking at? What are you looking at? It's a simple question, simple answer. What is it? It's a private constructor. Absolutely correct. Well said. The moment it is a private constructor, that tells you a different level is, will you be able to create the instance of this department or that enum from outside the class? Answer is absolutely not. Okay. So, but can the code from this class call it? Yes. Answer is yes. Now check what are the two arguments they have passed to the enum. It is nothing but one is string and one is integer. I hope I'm going sufficiently slow. Tomorrow morning when you are fresher, I'm definitely going to revise this or in the lab, however it suits you. So now everyone knows the meaning. What is being called here? Immediate superclass constructor. Super is what? For calling the superclass constructor. So please come here to the to your Java docs and search for the constructor. Is it whatever I'm saying, is it making sense? Are you understanding whatever is being discussed? Tell me openly. So when you say super, S comma I, the control reaches here. Now take a pause. Any enum has always got minimum 2 attributes. What are these two attributes? The name of the constant and the ordinal position. So try answering my question. Can you tell me what will be the value of the name for this first enum constant? What is the name? R&D. No. I said name. Guys, I said name. Answer is R&D. And what is the ordinal position? Ordinal positions, that you are right, 0, because it is counted from left to right, 0 onwards. So R&D and 0. Anyone wants to tell me what that will be for marketing? No, first tell me the constant name, comma, ordinal. So what will it be? Marketing, comma 2. And what will it be for production? Easy peasy. Production at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Production, comma 4. Are you all with me so far? So see the whole thing together. So here, as you can see, the generated code, the compiler has given you the constructor which is private, which nobody else can call. We'll see how it is getting called. And can you tell me what are the two details? Which are the two details which are getting initialized here? Which are the two details which are getting initialized? The name of the constant and the ordinal position. Name and the ordinal. Perfect. Reach here. Understood this? Okay. So right now skip this values method. I'll come to values and value of in a minute. So skip that and reach here somewhere. Somewhere means come down and reach. Can you see? Can you all see? Public static final, department R&D, department finance, department marketing, HR and production. ignore this. You will understand that tomorrow when I take the nested classes. That dollar symbol is for nested classes, but I have not yet shown you nested classes. Ignore. Focus on one thing at a time. I don't want to like confuse you. So tell me, when you see public static final triplet, what does it implicitly added? What does it remind you of? Class or an interface? Great, interface. That is the reason we say enum is a combination of class features. Which class features? It has constructor, it has got methods, it has got static initializer block, plus it has got some features such as all enum constants are implicitly what? Public static final. Now I'll give you one more word. See, all this is the jargon which everyone has to understand. Not today. You may not understand it today, but tomorrow evening at least. So what enum has is called as self-type constants. So you will say that what is a complex, what complex terms you are using? Self-type constant means, tell me, what is the type of this enum? Department. What is the data type of this R&D, finance, marketing, HR, and production? Is it a string? Is it an integer? Or is it a department? It is of the type department. So the word, what is the word we use? Self, type, and why it is constant? Because it is final. So it is all self-type constant. Reached here so far? So you can see whatever, just match it with the code I had written. So this is where I declared the enum constants, and see what it is getting compiled into. It is getting compiled into public static final constants, which are of the type department. Understood at least 5-10% so far? 5% at least? Okay, I'm not asking for more, don't worry. Now answer the next question. So these are of, tell me, think and answer. What are these types of? I'll give you choices. Will you call them as the primitive type, or will you call it as a reference type, P or R? It's of course a reference type, because what is department? Department is a class. We write it as an enum, but it gets compiled into a class, correct? So it is a class type of reference. So my next question is, can you tell me what will be the default initialized value of these references? Of course, it would have been null. But guys, you know that which is the best, what is it called? Best way to initialize your static data members? Which is the best way to initialize any static data member? We have used it so many times recently, static initializer block. I hope you are amazed. Amazed in the sense you are really like feeling so much of code gets generated from your compiler. Are you understanding? What is it? We just wrote a one-liner, and so much of code is getting synthesized. They use the word synthesized as in generated by the compiler. So I'll not break this. I'll just explain this and then give you a 10 minutes break. So now check. Everything will become clear by this line. So let me spend a minute on this. What is the LHS? It is nothing but a reference type. Now tell me, the moment you say new, what are, memory, new object gets created in the heap and memory is allocated, and then what gets called is the constructor. So tell me, what was the what is the access specifier of a constructor? Private. So tell me, can the code in the same class access the private constructor? It's a yes or no. Of course, yes. You remember our table. Private members are accessible in the class. But the moment you step out, will you be able to call this private constructor? Of course not. And that is the whole idea. Setting limited set of constants, related set of constants. Now you just solve. It is all about flow. So tell me, when you see new department R&D, 0, I had asked you this question if you remember 5 minutes earlier, where the control will go? The control will go to this private constructor. What is this private constructor doing? Calling the superclass constructor by passing which two details? Which are the two details, two arguments we are passing? Name, comma, ordinal. Yeah, string command, meaning what? Name, comma, ordinal. And you remember, this is where your enum's name and ordinal gets set. And that is how, or this is how the first constant is getting initialized. And now it is the same story. Ignore this part, guys. You won't understand it today. So can you check? Just go through the 4 lines of whatever, 3, 4, 5 lines of code, and you'll understand it. When you say finance, what is the type of the finance? Is it a string? Is it an int? Or is it a department? Of course, department, so called as self-type constant. And here we are passing 2 arguments, the constant name and the ordinal position. And likewise, your compiler, see, be thankful, when I say thankful and all, I mean, be appreciative. I just had to write a one-liner and so much of a code gets generated. And this is what is nothing but the internals about enum. So when you write a enum and it gets compiled, you tell me, what will get called first? Static initializer block or a constructor? When you start using the enums, what will get called first? Static initializer block. Exactly once. And that is where that static initializer block is calling the private constructor to initialize all these enum constants. Got something? Did you get 2 things, such as that private constructor calling that superclass constructor? Second thing is declaration of all these enum constants, which are called as self-type constants. And the whole thing understood totally with a static initializer block. Are these 2-3 things clear? But compiler doesn't stop here. Compiler says, let me help you further. So compiler also generates excellent 2 methods, very handy methods. You will see how handy when we come back from the break. So which are the 2 methods it adds, One method it gives you, it generates all the static methods. The one method is called as value of. So take a look at this method declaration and tell me what goes in, as in what is the input and what it returns. What goes in, what comes out, input and the output. Tell me. So it is taking the input as the string and it is returning a department. So what is it you are looking at? Parsing. See, when we were earlier in dates, date time handling. So if user gives you a join date and you want to convert it into a date class instance, what is it we used? I always ask you cross context questions. Okay, I would have been happier if you said sdf.parse. Okay, everyone knows simple date format and parse method. You got me? So likewise, whenever we ask the user, choose the department ID or enter the department ID, user is going to give you a string. And how will you parse it? How will you convert it into the enum? Answer is using the method. What is the method name? Value of. Is it a static method or is it a, what is it called? Non-static method? Static method. How do you call the static methods? Class name, which is department dot value of. So what you are looking at is nothing but the parsing functionality. You're going to require all this when we put it in the code. User gives you the constant name as a department ID, department name, and you want to store it as an enum. Okay, so that is where it will help. And see the beauty of it. They don't write it here. So I have given you the additional notes. That is your readme regarding enums. So I have discussed all of that, and let me show you that. Okay, so you can search for it. Important methods of the enum implicitly added by Java compiler. So forget that values, read this. This is the method you saw. Public static Enum will be replaced by department or direction or colors or whatever enum you create. In goes the name and out comes the enum. Now take a pause. Earlier, we were using string type of department ID. And here we had to slog. Slog means what? We had to take efforts in writing this switch case. And in the default case, since it was not matching with any of the department IDs, I had to throw the custom exception. But now see the fun, so see the beauty. The moment you switch to enum, and if you give some invalid name means what? Not defined as in the constant. In short, let us say properly. If I give something which is other than R&D, finance, marketing, HR, or production, let's say this thing, KTO or knowledge transfer or BPO or whatever. So it is not fitting into the constants. So will JVM continue or will it give you, will it throw the exception? Answer is right in front of you. I said, if you give the wrong name of the enum, you don't have to raise a finger, as in you don't have to do anything. JVM will automatically detect that it is not a part of your enum. So it will throw which exception, guys? Illegal argument exception. It's an unchecked exception. So it won't give you compiler error. And this method is given to you ready-made. Ready-made means you did not have to write it. So this is the method, which is a parser converter from what to what? String to enum or enum to string. S to E or E to S. Answer is string to E. I mean string to enum. Very right. And I told you, can you iterate? Could you iterate over all the interface constants? Answer is no. But you will see, again, compiler gives you another method. Which is the method name? What is the method name? Values. Is it a static method or non-static method? Static method. How will you call it? Department dot values, and see what it returns. It is returning you array of enum type of references. So see this. I've given everything in as a part of notes. So here, this is your values method. There are no arguments required and returns array of enum type of references. Don't worry about this singleton. I have not yet taken singleton for you. Singleton means single instance, but ignore this. Just focus on these two methods. So let me ask you, what does values return? Is it returning a single enum or is it returning array of enums? Answer is array of enums. And what does value of method do? It just does the job of parsing, as in converting from the string constant name, string enum name to actual enum constant. So this is the sufficient. Okay, when I say sufficient information, just two more things. So now when you open that superclass enum, there are certain methods which are declared there, defined. So first method is name. It returns the name of the constant. There is another method ordinal, which returns the ordinal as in the position of the enum. And an important thing is, enum class has already overridden the toString method to return the name of the enum. So when you come back after 10 minutes break, we are going to use all of this and we are going to write a small test case. Test case means small example. And then in the lab, or if you want it, we can directly integrate it. We will discuss how. But in short, we are going to write some code which will give you some idea about the enum. So let's have a 10 minutes break and we'll resume in 10. And we'll test your enums and make you understand more. 10 minutes. So welcome back. Let us do a 1 minute revision on Enum and let us write some code sample which will give you some idea, and then I will ask you to apply it in our larger assignment which we were developing together, employee. So here, start. Which is the, okay. So when you talk about enumerations in Java, which is the keyword we use for that? Start responding. I'm asking you very basic level questions. Enum is the keyword. All keywords in Java are all lowercase. So now here don't say Sagar, uppercase enum. The keyword is lowercase. Everyone clear? So today, what I see that there can be later more, lot of things can be added in the enum. But today what you have seen is what we add in the enum is typically the constants. Okay, so this is how we create an enum with the oh sorry, one more thing I'll say in a minute. So this is that keyword. This is the name of the enum, and what we add initially or typically is the set of related constants. So now the next question. What are the legal access specifiers you can add to the enum? What are the legal access specifiers? One is of course public, other one default. Yes, Prashant. So like how we have for classes and interfaces, what are the keywords we add? Either it can be public or default. So if you say, if I remove this public keyword, tell me who all can access this department enum? Within the package, yes. So any class which is in the same package as test enum can access. But if you want to access it from anywhere, what is the access specifier we give? Is the public one. Fully clear? Now, so here another question. When you add an enum, is it compulsory to add the semicolon after the set of constants, or is it optional? Answer is optional. So today I have written only this much. Tomorrow we'll definitely expand. Today itself I can expand something more. You'll see in a minute. This is the revision part. Now tell me, when you compile the enum, is there any additional code? Is there any code? Is there a lot of code which will be generated by compiler? Answer is yes. So you keep that code in front of you. I will keep this enum in front of you. So tell me, whenever you are compiling the enum is converted into what? A class, a special class, or an interface? C or I? Answer is class. Absolutely right. You keep that generated code in front of you. Okay, next one. Next question is it, what is the super class of all Java enumerations? Give me the fully qualified name, please. Then I can accept your answer. The answer is, you know that. Answer is in front of you. Java.lang.enum. Everyone gets it? So now tell me, you still refer to that code. You will see that Java compiler has generated a constructor. Is it a private constructor or non-private constructor? Answer is private. The moment you have a private constructor, can any code outside the class instantiate the enum? Of course not. Everyone understands it. So tell me, what is the, how many arguments you are looking at for that constructor? Answer is 2. Which ones, which 2 constructor arguments are there? Tell me. Name and ordinal. And which is the only line in that constructor? A call to super. So it is passing super, name, comma, ordinal. So when you say super, which is the super class of your all Java enumerations is enum. So this is the constructor which gets called. It says whole and sole constructor. That is only constructor is name and this. So which are the 2 details which are getting initialized? I'll ask you a specific question. Tell me. So here, if I talk about, let's say, marketing as the constant, what will be the name supplied and what will be the value? I am so sorry. What will be the ordinal supplied? Name is in the double quotes string. It is the first thing is string. So that is within the double quotes marketing, and the ordinal position is 0, 1, 2. Everyone understood that? Now the next question. Here, what are the data members of your enum? What are the data members of your enum? Give me 1 or 2 answers, please. Data members. You are looking at that compiled class, decompiled class. What are the data members of it? Nobody's answering. No. Data members. Guys, I did not. Wait a second. When I say data members, look at this. And here it is not arranged, but these are the data members, isn't it? Okay. So this is what this was my question. So what are the implicit keywords which are added to these data members? That answer is public static final. So this is borrowed from interface feature. So all enums, I mean the data member which you add today, tomorrow I'll take you further. So the data members which you add into the enum are implicitly public static final. You got that? Next question. Now tell me, is there any static initializer block for initializing these constants? Answer is yes. And now tell me, what is that static initializer block calling inside? What is that static initializer block calling? A private constructor. No, don't say super. Private constructor. No, don't say data member. Here, guys, what is it happening? See, what is the RHS? It is calling your enums private constructor. And what it is creating is it is passing the name and the, the ordinal position. And here it is initializing all of those 5 static final data members. Clear so far? Understood the code and whatever I'm saying so far? This is all generated code. We don't have to write a one-liner. So now the next question. If I want to show, see, I'm always talking in business logic requirement. I want to display that these are the departments. These are the valid department names. So can you tell me, if I want to show the list of all these department names, which is the method which is the method you use for listing all this? Wrong answer, Yogesh. Values is the correct answer. Wrong answer, toString. toString will just give you one constant ka details, but I want all. So is there any method which will return you array of enums? Answer is yes, and that is your values method. Okay, so did we write it or was it generated by the compiler? Answer is generated, supplied by the compiler. So what is that values method returning? Array of departments, array of enums. Okay, so and once I have an array, will you be able to iterate over the array of it? It's a yes or no question. Of course, the answer is yes. You're going to see this in next 10 minutes. We are going to write code. Now, suppose we want to accept the which department which department to recruit that employee. It can be R&D, it can be sales, it can be anything. So tell me, what is the how are you going to accept the input? Do you have in the scanner class any method which will parse a string into the enum? Answer is no. That is but in the scanner class there is no method. So which is the method you can use? Look at the next method. What is that method? Value of. Everyone gets me? So you have a value of method which accepts a string which can be taken from scanner sc.next. And what is it converting? It is calling your enum classes value of method. So right now, don't look at it. It is parsing it into department. And now tell me, last question before we start writing some code. If I give this string as, let's say, cells. If I type the string as cells, what will I get? Will the conversion parsing happen or will your JVM throw the exception? Answer is JVM throws the exception. Which exception? I already got an answer. Illegal argument exception. So please open enum and here you will see that internal method value of. It doesn't tell you actually. Okay, don't do that. So because otherwise it will confuse you. So just look for means control. Look at illegal argument exception. Take a look at the inheritance hierarchy. Tell me, is it a checked exception or is it an unchecked exception? It's an unchecked exception. So compiler doesn't force the handling of it. You know that. So once you get this exception, you can give the error message invalid department. or we can look at it, what it prints. So what we are going to do is, we are going to use these methods values and value of, and we'll see how to replace that string department ID into enum. So all the statements which I made, including the class generation, the private constructor, values method, value of method, and static initializer block. Is it at least 10% clear? Because we are going to use it in a code. Okay, so now if you feel like, you can continue with me. I'm not going to put it in that day 9 lab. That exercise we'll do it together in the lab. But currently, let us write a simple example. So tell me, if everyone must have typed this in a department. Yeah, so he's sending a department.java. So this is already there. Okay, now let us write, you can say Control-Shift-W. And here we are in, at least I'm in day 10.1 SRC test enum, and the enum is already there. Very, very less code you have to write. So much code compiler generates. Now here, let us write the tester. So let me call it as test1. And I'll give you the requirement in a comment, and then you will give me the code. But before all of that, let us do the standard things. I hope now everyone is comfortable with try with resources. So if you want to code along, do that. Otherwise, sit back and understand. And here I will add a scanner. Scanner. And this is not that extension in the assignment that I'm going to tell you as a lab exercise. But this we are writing it together for a simple introduction to your enum. So here it is. And since it might have a number of exceptions, this is not that big code where you have outer try, inner try, while. This is a simple one. So I'm saying catch all and added it. And since we are debugging, let me add e.print status. Are you clear so far? Because I don't want to confuse you by directly making changes in that larger code. Are you clear so far with the code which I have written? I'll wait till you say yes or no or what. Done? Very good. So now here, I will write some SOP and you will give me the code. So here I'm saying valid departments to choose from. Okay. And here, what I want is the names of those departments should come. So anyone tell me what code you want. Are you understanding? What I want to display is the valid departments to choose from are R&D, finance, marketing, HR, and production. So anyone wants to type the code. So here, yes, absolutely correct. Department.values. You understood what Yogesh has suggested, which is the method which can go over. So here the method is department.values. But if you write only this much, observe and conclude, and you yourself will realize. So I'm saying department, control space. And here, when you say dot, guys, pause here. Don't go ahead without understanding. So what is that class? I will show you in the reflection API. But can you see finance, HR, marketing, production, R&D? Those are all static constants. Plus, can you see the generated methods? Value of, in goes the string, out comes the department, and the values method, which returns you the department array. So are we understanding? Are we confirming that whatever I have shown you is all correct? So choose department.values. Okay. And run only that much. And tell me, was this the one you were looking for? Or was it something else? I don't like this. My user will not understand this L value and array. So do you get this? So only Yogesh, only department.values will not suffice. Anyone wants to tell me a fix? You understand that? This is returning you array objects to string, which is the fully qualified name of that array class and the hash code. So any suggestion? Override to string. Okay, I'll take your suggestion. It's a wrong suggestion. but still I will take it. So guys, because I have to convince people, I have to make you understand. So tell me, where should I override it? Somebody suggested, yeah, arrays dot toString is the real answer, but let's do it the other way. So tell me, you suggested override. So where should I override? Override it in the department. So guys, see this. The java.lang.enum has already overridden the toString. Can I override it further like an ordinary class? Of course, yes. So write a comment. Can further. Further means enum class has already overridden from object class. Can you further? Can further. Can you? I'll pose it as a question. Can you override the toString method in your enum? Answer is yes. Okay. So you know the rules. Rules means all the things at override. Public string, whatever, toString. And here, what is it I want to do is, I want to return the name of the enum. So do you remember, is there any method which will give me the name of the enum? Answer is yes. So which method? Is there any method? Okay, you've forgotten. Or okay, it's a two new things. So here, open that enum class. And here, there is a method called as name. The method itself, the name of the method is name, returns the name of the enum constant. And guys, if you are watchful, if you are careful, it will tell you that it has already, it means enum, your superclass has already overwritten the toString to return the name of this enum constant, whatever is content in the declaration. So guys, here, if you say return and the name, it is same as your superclass definition. Okay, so let us change it. But superclass definition will give you it all in uppercase. So let's change it to, just to check, to lowercase, for example. You remember yesterday we talked about all these methods in string. And another point is, now this is cribbing because you have added some more code. So here it demands the semicolon. I'll wait here till you understand and you catch up. So all these are popular questions. Will you be able to override the toString method in your enum class, enum type? Of course, answer is yes. This is overriding one. The default one returns you the uppercase things, uppercase constant name. So here I just change it to lowercase. So I'll send you this if anyone wants it. But that is not going to solve your problem. You'll see this in a minute. So let me send you this. Oh, sorry. Okay. So here, now run the code again. And again, you are getting the hash code value. So those who suggested override toString, I hope you understand. It was a wrong suggestion. Even after overriding toString, I'm getting the same output still. So tell me guys, what is the real correction, real suggestion? Exactly. When you have used all this, when you have an array, simply pass it through what? Either attach an iterator. Iterator means for each. And instead of doing that, simply pass it through arrays.toString. So here, arrays is the name of the class. The name of the method is toString. And here, pass. Don't pass this. Pass the department.values. Okay, I'm still not taking anything from the user because I want to show you the methods and the meaning and all that. And just check. Now you'll have two imports. One is java.util.arrays and one is scanner. Managed. Okay, now run this and tell me, are we getting some hash code values or the actual names of the constants? And are they uppercase or are they lowercase? lowercase. So in short, please tell me, when you say, listen to this, when you say arrays.toString department.values, it is iterating over all the constants. And is it calling the toString of, your choices are java.lang.object, java.lang.enum, or department? Answer is department. How do you confirm what I'm saying is correct or not? You can add a SOP here, or forget SOP, comment this method. How do you comment? Mark it and control slash. So now tell me, whose toString it will call? Your choices are java.lang.object or java.lang.enum. Enum. And in that, just now I showed you, is it going to print now hash code version, uppercase constant name, or lowercase constant names? Answer is uppercase. So, this is how you should be running, or you should be understanding Java inside out. So you can see here, these are the default. This is the default working of your toString of your enum class. It just prints all the constants in uppercase, okay, as the constant name. So I just took it as a chance. Somebody told me that, okay, why don't you override? So just wanted to show it depends on you. You can choose whatever you want. So you can either go for uppercase, lowercase. Currently, let us do it in the simplest manner. Everyone reached here. Everyone got the names of the departments to choose from. And which is the method we used? Which is the method of the enum we used? Values method. Got it? Now let us do the real job. I mean, let's talk about the actual job. So here, sorry, go to the tester. And so you have shown to user, these are the valid departments. Now what is it we want to do is from the user. So here, enter department name. Okay. So user is going to give you a department name. And what are you going to convert it into? You have to convert it into department enum. Guys, pause here, because if what I said is not clear, there's no point in continuing. See this. This is a small tester. But finally, what are we going to integrate it in your today's lab session, lab assignment, or whatever? Open that D9 lab. Open that employee Java. And can anyone tell me, what are we going to change it in today's lab? Tell me the line number. You can tell me that this is going to be replaced by this. Okay, so line number is 12. Absolutely correct. So what will change? The string data type, we are going to replace it by what? The data type is string. So what are you going to replace it by? Department enum. And you'll see that what is the relationship between employee and employee ID, or employee and first name, employee and department. Is a relationship? What type of relationship are we talking about? Can you say employee is a employee ID? Sounds so horrible. Or employee is a department? No. But can you say employee has a employee ID? Employee has a name. Employee has a department. So that is what is nothing but your containment. Looking at time, today I can't start the associations. Tomorrow I'll start. But I'm just, making the statements so that you are kind of prepared. So that is your association has a relationship. And like you said correctly, all we are going to change in that, whatever the lab session is, this will be changed to department. And naturally, the corresponding logic in the validation rule, which was switch case based, will become simpler. So all of this exercise, interesting exercise, we'll do it in the lab. So now focus on this. So now user has entered the department name. So I will write the left hand side. I want somebody to give me the RHS. So I'll say department, chosen department, or selected department, whatever. Always give the variable names which you understand and your evaluator, whoever is looking at your code, understands. Anyone wants to write the RHS, please? Give me the RHS. Just sc.next. Only sc.next will give you compiler error. Okay. So here is the method, another method of your enum. Which is the name? What is the name of the method? To parse it from, to convert it from the string name to the enum. Is it values or is it value of? Answer is value of. Parse was the method name for your string to date. SDF.parse. Here we are not parsing the date. So here what it will be? What is the name? The name of the enum? Department. Simply say dot. Again you will get a pop-up help. So this time choose the value of. And here tell me, of course you are not going to pass the null. So what should I pass inside? Argument please. Don't say string s, wrong. Yes, sc dot next. So here you see string s was a declaration. But actually what is, how do you read the string from the scanner? Sc dot next. So this is what it is going to parse from the string department name to the actual department. But guys, user doesn't know that user has to give the uppercase name and all that. So in short, in simple words, if user types R&D as the lowercase, what will happen? Will it be accepted? Will the conversion work? Or will it throw you illegal argument exception? Exception or no exception? Of course, exception. So is there any method where you can convert the string to its uppercase? Of course, answer is yes. See, I take it in a sequence, Java training, so that yesterday's knowledge will be useful. So if you say dot, you are calling the string class ka method, and the method name is what? To uppercase. So guys, I hope you remember strings are immutable. So we are not changing this string. So user might have typed anything. And then we are, when you say to uppercase, will the original string will be uppercase or will the new string will be created with the uppercase content? Original string or the new string? Of course, new string. We have spent a lot of time on yesterday's thing. So here, now tell me, if user gives any case means uppercase, lowercase, and chooses one of these department names, what will happen? Will conversion succeed? Of course, yes. And the moment user gives the invalid means what? Enum is what? Set of related constants. So if user gives something other than that, what will you get is illegal argument exception. So if the control comes to the next line, what does it mean? The conversion is successful, or I'll say parsing. Parsing means what? Don't get confused. Parsing doesn't always mean string to date. String to some other type. So string to enum is the conversion. So here parsing is successful. Okay. So this is successful. And now when you have this, I just want to display that you selected or you chose, and now, you chose. And when I say here plus selected department, which classes, which method will get called? When I say plus selected department, you're just concatenating it to string. So which method will get called? When you say concatenated to string, object to string conversion, which method? ToString is the method name. Whose ToString method? I have currently commented it. So it will inherit enums. And in simple words, is it going to print the uppercase constant name or lowercase? Uppercase name. And anytime you want to change something, we can always override ToString and we can observe the effect. So tell me, what I'll do is I'll share this code with you, because I have a question to ask. Don't run it just now. I'll share. So because I have to prepare you for your project also. Project means you will have to write a lot of code, lot of Java code. So tell me, does this sound better? Every time calling class name, enum name dot method name, or without is this more comfortable? In short, can I call it directly as value of? Answer is yes. And what is the solution? Everyone knows. Nothing but the import static. So go systematically. Remove this. Only keep values. Of course, you'll have a compiler error and remove this. You got that? And now fix it immediately. See, there is a compiler error. It doesn't know value of method. So don't go for that quick fix. Quick fix is wrong. It is going to generate that method. I don't want to generate the method. I just want to call that method. Okay, so here, anyone wants to tell me, I'll write it for you. Import static. Fill in the next one. Yeah, import static is fine. What after that, please? I got your import static. Please give the rest. Yes. So whatever is the package name, in my case, the package name is test enum, control space, name of the enum, and controls. If you will say control space, it will give you. So I want both values as well as value of. So simply say star. So what is the meaning? We are accessing, you can directly access all static members of this department enum. And tell me, has the error gone? Is the error gone? Vanished? Okay. Are you getting the whole idea about import static? Because you know there are some areas where you are confused. So I'm just trying to deal with that. So this one it is. And just for this thing. Okay, I was going to say main over. Doesn't matter. Now run this. One with the correct one. The one with is the chosen ones. Or one and then one with the wrong ones. So let us do the correct one first. So you saw this. Here you are giving these are the list of departments. These are the valid names. So suppose I choose, let's say HR. Type lowercase. Don't type uppercase. Not needed. And as you can see, you chose HR. This toString belongs to your enum and doing the work. You can choose something. Don't make spelling mistakes. And it gets it. But see the fun, see the beauty. So less you'll have to write. If I give the department name, of course it doesn't exist. So now tell me, do I have to switch case it? Do you have to throw your custom exception explicitly? Answer is no. JVM itself is throwing you which exception? Illegal argument exception. And it is giving you the name, it is giving you the error message. There is no enum constant with whatever. Got the same results? Try once with correct one and try one with the, wrong ones. And you should see the similar results. So this is your, okay, just a last case before I say this. Now please go to department and uncomment this. Okay. And now you know you can override the toString. You can do it the way you want. So suppose I want to say everywhere the department : you can do whatever you want. So I just want to show you that this will call now the overriding one, the this enum, your department version, and simply run it again. This time give the correct one. Suppose I say finance or marketing. And you will see that your overriding form of the toString is getting called. And this is your first look at enums. So got the tester, got it completely, understood that import static, understood the values method, value of, and how do you in general work with the enum. Are you at least 10-15% clear? Rest of the clarity will come when you start applying it. Are we clear? Okay, so I already told you what I expect from you, but I'll give you in writing when I write that today's assignment and all. You just have to add that enum. So now there is a very less time, just 3-4 minutes are remaining. So I was going to actually, I told you, I had written it in this manner. I was going to take the, this example is different one. So I took another one. I took the example of employee. you are going to give me the example. Example, I'm saying the example which we are going to create is employee has a department. So that, and that department, that enum example is the enum which we created just now was the department. But like I said, more on that later. So now I know it is a closing time. So I'm just introducing a very easy concept in Java, which is nothing but called as wrapper classes. So, and of course, we will continue later. So if you see, whenever you see the help, which I'm sharing today, we spend a lot of time in the hands-on, so we are just little bit lagging behind. So date and help, I'm giving you the complete, the notes on wrapper. So since there are just 5, at the most 5 minutes, I'm going to stretch it, not more than that. You can see there is a readme, there is some ready-made code and something called as hierarchy. So here, open, I have not yet shared. So I'll just open it from here. So here, read this much and I'll explain. So let me explain it quickly. Just show you the inheritance hierarchy and explain 4 terms called as boxing, unboxing, auto boxing and auto unboxing, and we are stopping here for today. So before I tell you the need, first read what are wrappers. So when I say wrapper, is it a class or is it a primitive type? Answer is wrappers are classes. So those are nothing but the classes which are representing your primitive types. So before I even go one statement further, everything has to be understood with his Java docs. So do you remember there is a primitive type, primitive data type int? Everyone knows that. Any operation resulting into 2 bytes, byte on short, automatically promoted to int. So int is what? Tell me, if I say int, is it a primitive type or is it a reference type? P or R? Simple questions I'm asking towards the end. But is there any class equivalent of the primitive type? Answer is yes. All primitive types have the corresponding classes. So now look for, you know this class also. So simply type integer. We have used integer.parseInt and all that. So you will see java.lang.integer. But I did not explain because we had to reach this topic. So here you can see the hierarchy. Object, universal superclass, extended by a numeric superclass called as number. It is an abstract class followed by the integer. Okay, so right now let's just look at the important things. It is a final class. Again, it is implementing comparable. So tell me, the moment you see any class implementing comparable, which is the method they must have implemented? The method name is compare to. Very right. And now read this slowly. This description, they have given such a good description. You don't need anyone's help. So look at this. The integer class wraps. Wraps means encapsulates the value of the primitive type int into an object form. So which is the primitive type? Int. What is the corresponding wrapper class? Integer. And it is telling you that object of this integer, object means instance of this integer, contains a single data member which will wrap your int value. Okay, so which is the primitive type and which is the wrapper type? Tell me please. Primitive type is int. What is the corresponding wrapper type? Integer. Are you getting it? Now, I hope you remember. Which is the non-numeric primitive type? A Boolean. So if you write lowercase b, a Boolean, what is it? Primitive or a wrapper? Of course, primitive. All these are keywords. Now search for uppercase boolean. Somebody on the first or second day by mistake had written uppercase. I told him or her, I don't remember who, that don't use that, use the lowercase. Because now click on boolean and you will see the hierarchy. Object extended by boolean, and it will tell you so clearly, this boolean class, is it a wrapper class or not a wrapper class? Tell me. B with uppercase, I mean boolean with uppercase B, it is a wrapper class. And what is it wrapping? It is holding the primitive type boolean. Are you getting this? So this is your meaning of the wrapper classes. Okay. So if you read further, what is the need? So that need I'll explain tomorrow because there is hardly any time. But instead of spending time in why wrappers, which I'll understand when I have more time, the very important diagram is the inheritance diagram, inheritance hierarchy. So definitely today pick up something like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That is all I'm asking you, 10 minutes. And do go through this slide. So start with the top. I'm going to explain this and stop immediately. So here, what is the title? Inheritance hierarchy for wrapper classes. Just 2 days before, I had given you inheritance hierarchy for exception handling classes. Which was the root class? Throwable. 2 subclasses, error and exception. And then below that, runtime exception and all. You remember that? So please remember these hierarchies. It will be very useful in coding. So now let's do it faster. People have already dropped off for the lunch break. So here, object is the superclass. Is object a wrapper class? Absolutely not. I have just drawn it for the reference purpose. So now, when you come down, these are all wrappers. So tell me, whatever I have written in the bracket, the lower one, is it a primitive or wrapper? P or W? This lowercase one, primitive. What is the corresponding wrapper? Uppercase boolean. Got me? Char is the primitive type. What is the name of the wrapper class? Character. Now take a look at it as a whole. Oh, sorry. So now we come to the numeric wrappers, actually holding the numbers. So which is the common superclass? Abstract superclass for all these numeric wrappers, the name is number. And now again focus. What are these lower ones? Primitive types. And here primitive byte is wrapped into a wrapper class called as byte. So I hope everyone is clear. When you write with lowercase b, byte, what are you talking about? Primitive or wrapper? Primitive. So don't make this spelling mistakes. Unnecessarily, conversions happen. Lowercase short wrapped into uppercase. So above ones are the names of the numeric wrapper classes. They are all non-abstract concrete. And lower ones are nothing but your, primitive types. Understood the names of the primitive types and the wrapper classes? So now 4 words and we are over. So there are 4, okay, today I'll talk about 2 conversions only, looking at time, and people have also dropped off. So there is one conversion to convert from primitive to wrapper. So this conversion, whenever you are trying to convert a primitive to wrapper, you are putting that primitive value in a box. Box means object type structure. So this conversion is called as boxing. So what is the meaning of boxing? Conversion from, there's a spelling mistake here, please ignore, primitive type to a wrapper type. Earlier we used to do it using wrapper class constructor. Now it is obsolete, deprecated. So we can use value of all tomorrow. So first focus on the terms. What is boxing? Tell me. I'll ask you a question. Char to character or character to char? First option or second option? It is char to character. Int to integer. Lowercase float to uppercase float. In short, primitive to wrapper. And when you remove the box, you're again back to primitive. In short, what will be character to char or short to short or integer to integer? It is called as unboxing. Removing the box. So today, last statement of the day, today's day. What is boxing and what is unboxing? Boxing is primitive to wrapper. What is unboxing? Wrapper to primitive. So this is like more than sufficient for introduction. Tomorrow we'll talk about auto boxing, auto unboxing with a larger time. So this is where I'm stopping today. In the lab session, I joined little late to give you the hang. So those who have completed with me, I hope majority has completed that day 9 lab. We are going to copy it into day 10 lab, and then I'll give you some more requirements and we'll see whether you can fit it now with that extra practice. And we are going to add the enum to it. We're going to add a lot of things and test it and give you the practice again. So that will be all. You do your revision till I join your lab session, and then we'll have again a interactive session. And anytime anyone has a better idea means some suggestions. And if I can take up those, I can't promise that every suggestion I can take because we have a time limitation somewhere. I have to keep track of that also. But if it is a valid and feasible, possible suggestion, I'll definitely take it up. So that will be all, guys. Think over the lunch break and all. Any valid inputs you want to give, anytime you can supply. That will be all. See you in the labs.